Hey, it's Sammy and Natalie here, and welcome to the Anxiety Compass, where anxiety isn't the enemy, it's our tour guide. We'll swap stories, share tools, and have a laugh while we find our way back to true north. Come along. And welcome back to another episode on the Anxiety Compass.
Hello.
Nat, I'm so sorry. Do you ever want to start the opening? I'm really sorry.
Oh, look, no, I'm sorry. Look,
Stop saying sorry. Sorry. This is
sorry,
what this
sorry.
episode's on today. We're
It
talking
is.
about why do we apologize for existing? Why do we constantly keep saying sorry? Do you know, I did that as a challenge once. I had someone say to me, I want you to be very aware of how many times you say sorry this week. And every time I said
Oh,
sorry, I had to quickly stop myself and think, do I actually need to apologize for this? And
yeah.
95% of the sorries I said had no reason for me to say sorry.
No.
Like, isn't it insane?
Yep. It really is.
Do you say sorry a lot?
I used to. Yep. Pretty much apologize for existing. Yeah,
It's
I
just
apologize for
natural.
everything.
Yeah. Sorry again. Sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
sorry.
yeah, there is anxiety reasons behind over apologizing.
Yeah.
And do you find it's more women than men that say sorry for everything?
100%.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I've heard men say sorry a lot too, but not to the extent that women say it.
No,
That's a
no.
thing, isn't it?
It really is a thing with females.
Gee,
We've been
Louise.
conditioned to be small, which we're going to go into.
Yes.
Yes.
So over apologizing is hypervigilance. It's a fear of conflict. It's a fear of rejection. It's the people
People
pleasing. Oh my
pleasing.
God, she keeps popping up, doesn't it? It's
Yep.
trying to stay safe and control someone else. And it's trying not to burden others
Yeah.
because, everyone else is more important than you, apparently. And
Yep.
you need to apologize for even being born.
Yep.
Isn't that ridiculous? If you're
Yeah.
listening, how many times have you apologized today for something that you didn't actually need to apologize for? Ooh, one of the biggest
Yeah.
ones I do is I apologize to people who bump into me.
Yep.
It,
I used to
"Oh,
do that all the
sorry."
time too. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy,
yeah.
isn't it? Yep. Someone would bump into you and go, oh, I'm sorry.
Even in like emails. Sorry for the late reply. Sorry. I'm sorry, but I need to chase up this invoice. Even though I did the job and you need to pay me, I'm really sorry that I'm in your emails asking for money.
Yep.
I'm sorry that it probably looks stupid, but
Yep.
sorry, can I just ask a question?
Mm. Yeah, that's a big one. You never hear men say that. Like
I'm
you're in a
sorry for
meeting
feeling
or something, they don't
sad.
go, oh, sorry, can I just say something here? They own it and they just go in there.
Yeah,
Whereas
I need to
females
say
like,
something. Or
sorry,
you
excuse me.
I find I apologize for my emotions a lot. I'm so sorry I'm angry today. It's like you're allowed to feel these emotions, right?
Yeah.
Why do we apologize for feeling?
Yeah.
Oh
I used
my
to
God.
apologize if I was crying.
Do you know one of the things I have said sorry to? I've said sorry to animals, obviously, when I run into them or they almost hit me. I apologize to inanimate objects as
Me
well.
too. Yeah, I used to
You ever
apologize. Yeah,
apologize to furniture?
yes, I have.
Oh my
I
gosh.
I know.
Ah, that's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Holy
it really
moly.
is.
And going back to the emotions, do you ever apologize when you cry?
Yeah, that's what I said just a minute ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
you did. Sorry, I thought.
I apologize. I used to. I would
Yeah.
apologize if I was upset. I'm so sorry, you
And
know.
then you can't stop crying and you just keep
Yeah.
apologizing while you're crying.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Or I
Yep.
apologize when you're feeling sick. I'm so sorry. I'm not 100%. Like
That
my
was a
voice is
big one.
obviously not 100% today, and I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah. I used to do that when I was little. I used to apologize. I mean, that's how conditioned it was into me. Um, I didn't want to be a burden on anyone. So, when I was, I'm talking about when I was 4 and 5, if I got up in the middle of the night to because I had to vomit,
Mm.
I wouldn't wake anyone. I would just quietly go and vomit and then go back to bed, and I'd be really sick the next day. And I'd tell mum and or dad, and they'd be like, why didn't you come and get us? And I was like, oh no, I'm sorry. You needed your sleep.
Oh my.
I'm thinking
Makes
that
you
at
realize how little
4.
you think of
Thinking,
yourself.
yeah, exactly. At 4, I was thinking of
Mm.
everybody else. And that was, I just didn't want to be a burden because my beautiful little sister was very sick from when she was born. She had
Yeah.
like really severe asthma and spent a lot of time, I don't know, mum and dad would have to race her off to hospital in the middle of the night. So I just, because I was the older one and I didn't want to be a burden. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Gosh.
the
I
things that
totally get that.
we carry so much and we don't even realize. And that comes down to self-worth. You know,
Absolutely. Over apologizing is definitely something that plays on our nervous system. And particularly like if you're an anxious person and a woman, like the combination's just,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's a way to keep your nervous system safe because you want to feel accepted and belonging. And if you're
yeah.
not
And not be a
buoyant,
threat. Yeah.
yes, it's prevents conflict because
Yep.
I know for me growing up, conflict would set my nervous system into disarray. Is that the
Me
right word?
too.
Disarray.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so if you quickly apologized, it would be like you would tell everyone, I'm not a threat.
Yeah.
I'm not a threat.
Yeah.
I'm a little mouse, but I
Yeah.
have needs, and I'm sorry that I'm in the way.
Yeah. And I'm sorry that I have needs.
Yes. It's a really common anxiety behavior actually.
It is probably one of the most common.
Yeah, and it's not just like some people go, but it's just being polite. It's not. It's actually annoying. I've been like now that I've conditioned myself not to say it as much, I find when I'm around people that are constantly apologizing, after a while it gets annoying because I'm annoyed for them that they can't speak up. I get
Yeah.
frustrated because I want them to see how worthy they are and they
Yeah.
just keep saying sorry for existing and it
Yeah.
annoys me. I don't know if that's just me, but I get frustrated. Stop apologizing.
Yeah.
That's what I
I
end
just
up
get
doing.
really sad for them, and I
Yeah.
did say, so stop, you don't need to apologize. You don't need to over explain. But
Yes. You
it's
do it
just
without
sad because you can
realizing.
recognize what they're doing and why they're doing it. But yeah,
Yeah, and in the psychology behind it, like your brain is constantly scanning for things that are dangerous. So
of
conflict,
course.
disapproval, tension, awkwardness, like
Yep.
that's uncomfortable awkwardness, and
No.
signs that someone's upset. So it your brain starts to treat that social discomfort like a threat. And all
Yeah.
of a sudden, sorry automatically comes out. Your brain's like, quick, throw out a sorry, throw out a sorry. That's going to smooth things over real quick. That's going to reduce the tension. That's going to avoid any conflict that could arise. And it's going to stop people from being angry at me because I can't handle people being angry at me because I need to be liked by everyone. And I need to stay liked and I need to stay safe. And
Yeah.
so when you think about it, and this is something you've spoken about a lot in these podcasts, Nat, it actually is the fawning process.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
fawning.
Yeah.
And if you haven't listened to our previous podcast, we talked about the five. There's fawning, there's flight, there's fight,
Fight and freeze.
freeze. I think there was another one, but fawning, saying sorry is fawning.
Yeah. Or an over explaining. That's another form of apology when you
Yes,
over explain. That was my biggest thing,
over
was
explaining.
over explaining. And it,
Yes.
it was it was my cousin. It's so funny. She's, I should ring her. I haven't spoken for a while. I mentioned her in the last podcast that we just did, the last episode.
Mm.
I'll never forget. It was actually after I'd had my breakdown, and she was driving me somewhere, and she asked me a question. I can't remember, nothing major, and I answered. And she just, as she was driving, she said, Nat, why do you always over explain yourself? You don't need to
Yeah,
justify your answer. And I
it's
just
so
sat
true.
there and went, oh my God. I hadn't even realized it was my normal response. And it wasn't until
Mm.
someone had the, and I so appreciated that shining a light on it and going, oh, wow, I actually really do. That's a trauma response,
It
over
is. I've done the
explaining.
same with a text. Like I pointed it out to a friend because every time she couldn't come to something, I would get this 4 paragraph text on I've got to do this and my daughter's this and I do apologize, but next time perhaps blah blah blah. I'm like, you just have to write, can't come, but
Yeah,
maybe we'll catch up next time. Like
yeah.
that is it. You don't need to over explain yourself. But
No.
we're coming
But
back
it's
to
actually
the
really uncomfortable when you start doing because when I started just giving short, succinct
Oh, it's
answers,
hard. You're learning, you're
it,
retraining your
yeah,
brain because,
yeah,
again, coming back
literally,
to the science, when
yeah,
you constantly and your brain jumps to the sorry and the over explaining all the time, you have created new neural pathways to keep your body
yeah,
safe. And
yeah,
so it's teaching your body that over apologizing, it's your needs are inconvenient, your voice is taking up too much space, your confidence shrinks. So you become really a bit of a hider, which is what we were talking about in our last episode.
yeah, yeah.
And the thing that bubbles underneath, which what we see in clinic, is that resentment builds, and that's where the sickness comes because you are not ever speaking your mind. You're always apologizing for existing, but underneath it all, you're wishing that you could speak, and
Speak.
that resentment, and those emotions building up underneath, anger is what feeds sickness. And that's
It
where you
does.
in our clinic.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And
you're
I
like,
think you
I
can
want
see
to
it.
eat better. It's like, let's have a look at some other things.
Well, when you go out for dinner, talking about eating, and someone said, "What would you like?" Your partner says, "Well, oh, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll
God.
have what you're having."
Yeah.
Little things like that.
Can I try one of your
But
chips? Sorry, but can I try one of your chips? Sorry.
sorry, but
Did
I
you
mean,
want my
as
order? I didn't really want this. You can have mine.
yeah, absolutely. And coming back to what you just said about basically speaking your truth, I do energy healing. I do Reiki in my clinic, and I pretty much 100% of women who come to me when I first start working with them energetically, their throat chakra is so blocked because they just don't speak their truth because they're swallowing their truth. They're hiding. They don't, so they're hiding it behind the sorries, the over
Mm.
explaining, the playing small.
And they
Um,
know what to say. They play it in their head when they're in the shower. They
Absolutely.
relive
Oh
these
gosh, yes.
conversations over
Yeah.
and
Or in the
over.
middle of the night,
Yes.
going over what I should have said. I should have said
Yeah.
this.
It just gets worse. And some of these women have been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years in their head.
Yeah,
People haven't. And they
their
wonder what
entire life.
to do.
Some,
You become so busy managing everyone else's comfort that you actually lose connection to your own truth, which
yeah,
is essentially what you're seeing in your clinic with
yeah,
Reiki. Oh my gosh. So, what do we say instead? What do we say instead of sorry? So, if you're running late to a meeting, it's natural for you to say, I'm so sorry for the delay.
yeah. Or I'm sorry, I'm late. Like
Even
when you
though,
arrive somewhere. That was just before we go into this, that was the one thing that really connected it. I think I heard it from Oprah or something like
yeah,
that, like a long time ago. It may have even been around the time when Eckhart Tolle first came out
yes.
and stuff. It was a long time ago. And they said, don't apologize for being late. Sorry, I'm late.
Mhm.
Turn around and say, thank you for waiting.
Yes. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you for your
Exactly.
patience. And sometimes I make a little joke and people laugh and I say the traffic is terrible. Like I don't apologize. It's not my fault the
No.
traffic is
Yeah.
terrible. I mean, it probably is my fault. I probably should have left earlier, but I'm not apologizing for that. I'm gonna
No.
just say I understand you've been patient and waiting. So thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
waiting. Thank you.
Absolutely. And it feels good to the recipient too. It feels weird when you first start it, and because you think,
Yeah.
well, it's actually a weird comment
Yeah.
to
Thanks for your
make.
patience.
Yeah, or thanks for waiting, thanks for your patience. But when you're the recipient of that, it actually even feels better
Yeah, it does.
because you're being seen for, oh, yes, I have been patient. Yes, I have been waiting. Rather than going, sorry,
Yeah.
I'm late, you're going, thank you
It's
for,
true. I feel
yeah,
worse when people apologize because I feel like
yeah,
I've made it an inconvenience for them
yeah,
that they have to apologize.
yeah. Or like, oh my gosh, am I that strict that people are having to
Yeah.
apologize?
I
Yeah,
never thought of it from the other side, the
yeah,
other side. Yeah. And I get frustrated when people constantly apologize to me because I feel like I'm making it's my fault that they're having to apologize, where I try and be as,
exactly.
I don't need that. What about
Yeah.
sorry, I can't I'm coughing because I'm in recovery mode. Probably shouldn't be talking so much. Uh sorry about that, everyone. Oh, listen to
Sorry.
that. So, what about one of the things I find is people do want to speak their voice. They go, sorry to bother you. What would you say instead of I'm so sorry to bother you? Like
Yeah.
I'm a really annoying person and I'm
Yeah.
sorry for existing, but like what would you say instead of that?
Do you have a moment?
Ah, so you're being considerate that their time is important, but you
Yes,
also have something important to say.
exactly. Again, it's a reciprocal um, interaction there.
Do you have a moment? And
Do you
if
have
they say no, you say,
no?
okay, well, when do
Okay.
you have a moment? Because I've
Yeah.
got something important I'd love to discuss with you.
Yeah.
Because when people say no, like if you're not used to it, that can, I'm so
That can
sorry.
be triggering. That can be triggering.
Yeah. But you're
Yeah.
entitled to speak. And if someone is
Exactly.
that busy, they don't have time for you, you need to tell them it's important.
Yeah.
So let me know when you are free.
Yeah.
Some people are really bitey though, and that's a reflection on them, not you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, some people are very triggering. And then what about like I know when I do my workshops, I have question time. And both for
Yep.
adults and kids, I find they feel silly or stupid, if that's the word to use, when they ask me a question
Yeah.
and then they go, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but this is probably a silly question, but." And I'm like, no question's silly. Like, if you genuinely
Exactly.
want to ask me something, you can ask me something that is something that most people probably know, but I can guarantee there's someone else in the room that probably doesn't know.
Yeah.
So, what would you say if you think you have a silly question? Would you reframe that in your head or,
Yeah. Just hi. Look, I've got a question.
yeah, get rid of the silly and the sorry?
Silly and the sorry.
Because it might
I
not
have
be
a
silly.
question. Yes.
You've just labeled it as silly. And so now that person's
Exactly.
brain's trying to understand the silliness of the question.
Yeah. Exactly.
That is a silly question.
Yeah.
And then you have a chuckle and you go, yeah, it is a silly question, but I don't know the answer.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I've been around people who are so confident in themselves, and they are the ones that ask the most questions because that is why they're confident and learn so much because they
Yeah.
position themselves around people who know more than them. Like, I've had people that, like, I don't know anything about cars. If I'm in a room with my husband and his brother and all of them talking about carts and cars, I ask silly questions. And you know what? They're not silly because I got no idea about the
You don't
car.
know.
And they
Yeah.
laugh and they giggle, and I'm like, I want to know, I want to learn. And so, yeah, you're the smart one in the room because you're learning things. So I'm
Exactly.
sure if they were in the room with me talking about nutrition, they wouldn't know some of the
They wouldn't be
questions.
laughing so much.
They've
Yeah,
got silly
exactly.
questions now. Intelligence
Exactly.
really depends on the topic, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
And I was always taught that intelligence is a mark of imagination and growth. And constantly asking questions, even the
Ask
silly
some
ones,
questions. Yeah.
is a sign of intelligence. So,
It really is. I mean, you look at the
mm,
most successful and intelligent people in history,
they're the
they
questions.
they yeah, they were the curious ones. That's what
Yes.
keeps you learning is the curiosity and being able to say, "Hey, I don't understand this. I'd really love to know this."
And
And
it works
again,
the other
it's
way too.
reciprocal. Yeah, but again, it's reciprocal because it's letting the person that you're asking the question to, saying, "I actually
Don't
um,
know.
respect your opinion and that you do know more than this, and I would love to learn from you."
I
Who?
love that. That's it. That's important. I say that to my kids. I'm like, if someone in the room is smarter than you on something, go and ask them. Go and ask them how they did this or how they got this, or if you like someone's clothing or their hair, go and ask them.
Yeah. Oh, where'd you
Because
get your hair done?
most people genuinely want to share. Like I
They
know that.
do.
But and again, being someone who is the question answerer up on stage, there was always a bit of anxiety of being too stupid to answer
Answer.
silly
Yeah.
questions. And some of the
Yeah.
questions I get from kids, I'm
I'm
talking
not
grade
silly.
2 year olds and 3 year olds, they're quite in depth. And I
Yes.
actually don't have the answer for some of them. And I write back, I don't go, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer. I say, oh, that's a fantastic question. Do you know what? I don't actually know the answer to that, but I'm going to look it up later and I'm going to find out. And they feel really good about themselves because they asked me something that I don't know how to answer.
Yeah. Absolutely. But you didn't apologize for not knowing. You just like, oh, that's
That's a
a really great
fantastic question.
question.
I don't
Yes.
know that one. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And going back to, oh, we'll do one more example of what to say instead. But going back to what you were saying before with apologizing for crying or apologizing for being emotional, like these are normal things that we need to get used to, that human beings have emotions. And yeah, okay, there's a time and a place. Like I say to my son when he's in Kung Fu and he's learning attack and he's in with all the boys, like, they conditioning them to not cry because if you're getting beaten up and you
Yeah.
just curl into a ball and cry, you're more of a target. So they're conditioning them to be stronger in that way. But when you're at home in your comfort and your safety, like, or even around friends and family, and you are emotional and you feeling these feelings, we're allowed to express them. But
Yeah.
everybody I know that starts crying when I'm having a conversation, they go in amongst their ugly tears, I'm so
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
No.
What do we do instead of that? Like if you start crying, like some people would just walk away because they don't want to apologize, but like where would you
Well,
go?
saying something like, this really matters to me. Like, oh, I'm hurting or I'm
Yeah.
scared. So actually being able to verbalize the reason why you're crying,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't, you don't even have to understand it, but just expressing the vulnerability
Yes.
around people that you feel safe with. It fosters, again, a reciprocal because the person who is in front of you is going to have more of an understanding of what's going on. But
Yeah,
also,
that's so
it builds
true.
that resilience and strength in you, that safety, that it is safe to actually
Mm.
express an emotion, explain, like I said, you don't have to go into, just say, I'm scared, or I'm so
Yeah.
upset, or my heart's breaking, or, whatever. It
It's
doesn't have
something,
to be
it's
big.
a roller coaster you have to go through with emotions. You got to feel them. Too many people suppress them. And what we were
Yes.
saying in the last episode, which is in agreement with this one, is that kids are always watching us. And if you're a
Yeah.
parent and you're unable to, speak your truth, your kids are learning these behaviors and their
Yep.
brains are forming into, okay, I've got to apologize for doing that. Okay, can't
Yep.
speak up for that. The
Yep.
tone, the shrinking, the self eraser, which is what we were talking about in the last episode. The nervous laughter, I often do nervous laughter, and I've been called up on it before that you laugh to get away from uncomfortable
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
conversations.
I
I'm
used
like,
to as
yes,
well.
yes, I do. I
Absolutely.
do it all the time. And the guilt around needing things
Having
like,
needs.
yeah, yeah. So if your kids are constantly hearing you say sorry, 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 they're learning that my existence is inconvenience, people, and I need to apologize for existing. Do we
Yep.
want that? Do we really want that?
No.
No, we don't. No, we
No.
don't. Um, yeah, it's coming back to the anxiety compass because that's what this podcast is about. It's anxiety asking, because anxiety is something, it's a teacher, it's someone talking to us. It's our little compass, right?
Yep.
Am I still safe here? Am I safe? Because that's what it's about, controlling the
It's
environment to be
all about
safe.
safety.
Yeah. Can I control people by apologizing and showing them that I'm not a threat? That's where I just keep coming back to. Do you
Yeah.
find that's where it's
Yeah.
sort of the core of it is?
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Yes.
About, yeah.
So if you start to stop apologizing all the time, I mean, when can we say sorry? Like if you hit someone with your car, like that's it. Oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. If you genuinely hurt someone,
I was about to say, if you hurt someone, you know,
like there is a need to say sorry, or
and
but
genuinely, like, I'm not saying, you know, oh, I'm sorry you see it that way. If
oh,
someone's
I hate
been
that
really
one.
offended by someone, yeah. Having a genuine, but
I'm
saying,
sorry you
oh,
feel mad at me.
yeah.
No,
No, of
yeah. I mean, there are reasons to say it. Um,
course.
what if I stop saying sorry? What would healing look like for me, Nat? Like if I started to actually stick up for myself and speak my truth, what would that look like?
Um, well, like I mentioned, you slowly build that resilience. You increase your self-worth. You're giving yourself the message that you are valuable enough
Yeah.
to exist and that you don't have to apologize. So you're increasing your self-love, which then
Yes.
has an effect on your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual, energetic self.
All the things. The compass will
Yeah.
go to the true north.
And yeah, I was just about to say, and when it comes to the compass, you're coming back to your true north because you're being authentic, you're being true to yourself. You're not
Yes.
making yourself small,
Take up space.
minimizing yourself, minimizing your experiences underneath sorries.
That is so true. You're trusting that you don't need to earn your right to exist. You
Yeah.
already exist.
Yeah.
You already exist.
Yes.
Why do we feel like we need to earn that right? So
I don't
silly.
know. It
So
really is.
silly. It's just so silly.
Oh,
So
we're such complex beings.
we are, aren't we? And we're constantly
Mm.
learning, and the brain is constantly coming for the ride with us. So let's start change.
Yep.
I'm going to try and see how many times I say sorry. I apologize to my dog a lot, and I feel bad for it. Sorry, I've got to leave the house. Sorry, darling, did I lock you outside? I'm
Oh,
so
yeah,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's just becomes a habit, doesn't it? So,
It does.
reflective question. Do you want to say one or do you want me to come up with one?
No, I will.
Mama, sorry. I put you on the spot there.
Sorry, sorry. Um, where's my notes?
Oh, you have one. Oh, look at you, Mrs.
Yes,
Organized.
I know. Um, well, what would change in your life if you stopped apologizing for taking up space?
Oh, I'd have more
We've
space.
just, so yeah, so we were just giving a few examples of how it can change. How does that look in your life? What would change in your life if you actually stopped apologizing for everything? How does that make you feel in your body? How do you start showing up in the world?
I just had a thought then that as a mum, I apologize for my kids as well in front of
Yeah,
them.
actually, yeah,
I didn't even think of
that's a
that.
good point. No.
What is that saying to my children that you're not worthy? You be
Yeah,
quiet and sit in the
you're
corner.
being an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Geez, that one hit hard, didn't it?
Yeah, it actually hit hard. Yeah.
Well, do you have anything else you would like to share?
No, I think we should
My
leave it
lap.
there.
My lap's really warm. I have a dog laying on
Mm.
my lap,
A little
and
Midas.
he definitely doesn't apologize for existing. All right.
No, no. Animals don't.
No, they just exist.
Don't.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. We need to just exist, right?
we
Okay.
do.
Well, love you, Livia, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for joining us on the Anxiety Compass. If you love this episode, share it with a friend who needs a little laugh and a lot of calm. We'll see you in the next one. Keep following your true north. Disclaimer time. Sammy and Natalie may be clinical nutritionists, but we're not your personal doctors. What you hear is for learning and laughing, not diagnosing or prescribing. If things feel bigger than you, call your doctor or local support line or reach out to a